Hey guys, Scott with Heritage Farms, Texas. Well, here we are. It is Monday afternoon. It's about 5:30. I want you to look at this beautiful sunset. What a gorgeous day in North Texas. Just what a blessing it is to have this kind of weather right in the middle of winter. It's Monday, February the 2nd. We got a mild north wind. The good news is I got an update from the farm. We had 2 baby calves today. So I'm pretty happy considering it's a work week and I'm on my day job. It's nice when things are going good behind the scenes. So what am I working on tonight? Well, tonight I'm gonna do a will it start video. And this is for my buddy Hank over at Hamiltonville Farms. He's the king of will it start videos, but I'm a little embarrassed about this one. This is my Generac XG10000E generator. I bought this thing brand new directly from Generac. And it's a pretty expensive generator, and I bought it to pretty much run this house, and I'm pretty pumped that it will. I mean, I've done it before. It'll run everything but the air conditioner, and I'll show more about the system that we used on the circuit breaker. And we have this thing tied into the house basically, so all I have to do in the middle of a storm is plug it in and take off and you're ready to go. Well, it doesn't work that simple. So as you guys may realize, my life has been really busy the last few years. I mean, there's been a lot going on between work, the farm, my daughter getting married. I got one daughter that graduated college, went off to medical school. So there's just a lot of moving pieces around here, man. And, you know, all kinds of things going on. But anyway, this is no fault of anybody but my own. Well, I wasn't up to speed on ethanol-free gas, and I had gas in this thing. This generator has 2.5 hours of service on it. 2.5. That's how little this generator has been used. Well, shame on me. Things got busy, and there's too many things to keep going. I didn't start it, and it set, and it set, and it set, and it set. And the gas went bad. Well, literally this thing is not ran. This generator is probably, I'm gonna say 6 years old now, and it's ran 2.5 hours total. So I'm highly embarrassed to even tell you guys about it. It's just been sitting and doing absolutely nothing. So I'm trying to get it ready to go. So what I've done here is I came in, drained all of the fuel out of the gas tank, and basically, luckily, the gas tank itself looks really clean. There's no debris in it. There's no gel or anything. So I got all the old gas out. Came in here, cleaned out the fuel line on it, made sure everything was good there. I took the fuel filter off and blew air through it. It looked clean. Of course, at 2.5 hours, there can't be any issues. So the only thing I can think of, I've tried to start it, recharge the battery. Actually bought a new battery about a year ago, thinking I was gonna work on this, and I'm just now getting around to it. But we gotta jump on it. I've gotta figure this out. I mean, this is too expensive of a generator for it not to run. So we gotta figure out how we're gonna make this thing run. So what you're gonna see in the upcoming video is we're gonna take the carburetor off, and which makes me really nervous because there is no adjustment for throttle. This thing has an automatic throttle on it, and there is no pull cord to start it. It's only electric start, and it is a beast of a generator. But the good news, if I get it running, I'm gonna put it on a utility trailer down at the farm, and in essence, when I need to take my welder somewhere, I'll have the ability to weld. I can take cutting wheels on a disc. So all these fence projects, this guy's gonna come in really handy. Not to mention, I can run this house here if I ever need to. So, more to follow. Carburetor rebuild on a Generac XG10000E. And just so anybody that hasn't heard already, do not run ethanol in your small power tools or anything like that. Try to buy ethanol-free gas any chance you get, because that's the only explanation I have. This thing ran great until I let it sit for about 6 or 7 months. Then it wouldn't start, and I let it sit literally another 2 years. So I'm just really disappointed in myself to have this nice tool. There's been multiple times I've needed to use it and it wouldn't start. And I'm just too cheap to pay somebody to fix it when I know what the issue is and I can do it myself. So I'm gonna tackle this. Hope you guys enjoy. Okay guys, well, here we are. It's Sunday afternoon. We got a winter storm heading our way Thursday of this week. So I'm thinking, you know, I might wanna have my generator going. Because, you know, us Texans, we can't handle ice very well. And if it does go down, then we got real problems. So I wanna make sure I got something to burn on electricity. So I'm trying to get this generator running. So keep in mind, this is the one that we've only had literally, I don't know, 12 years now, and it only has 2 hours on it. Shame on me. I let fuel sit in it over one winter, and it's never ran since then. So I've been looking at some videos. I mean, I can't believe this thing is bad. We're gonna take it apart here, go do a little bench deal, and we'll see what we have. But so far, it wasn't too bad to get it off. You had this little guy right here, which is okay. Well, we're back on the generator project. It's Sunday afternoon, and hey, look at there. There's Coco. So it's Sunday afternoon. We're getting back to this generator project, and I came in here and jumped right on it. And so far, it wasn't too bad. So I skipped a couple of steps just so you guys want to know. If you're watching from home and you want to do this same thing, the first thing I did was I removed this little bracket which holds the return spring for the carburetor and the governor. Then basically from there, I took the air filter box off. There was 2 screws on the top and then 2 screws on the bottom. And then from there, it was just a matter of disconnecting the linkage and sliding the carburetor off of the deal. So we got it out. Of course, keep in mind, this generator has 2.5 hours on it, but it's been sitting idle for 13 or 15 years, who knows. So I got to see if I can get this thing running again. So, all right, so bear with me while I go back to the other hot rod shop. We're going to set up the camera and we'll come back and check it out. Looky there, there's Kimber Cat. Hey, Kimber. Hi. All right, guys, more to follow. Hey guys, Scott with Heritage Farms, Texas. Well, I don't know if this is recording right or not. Hey guys, Scott with Heritage Farms, Texas. Well, thought I would give you guys a little storm update. You know, the last video I showed you we were getting ready and things were looking bad. Well, I mean, this is absolutely terrible. It's so here it is. It's Wednesday afternoon, about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and you know, we lost power Sunday night at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. in the morning, we lost power, which was terrible. So, you know, one of the things we did was we started opening up all the faucets inside of the house, started letting them drip, and basically just running nonstop. And we didn't have power. And, you know, it kept getting colder and colder. Monday morning, we spent Sunday night here, of course. Monday was pretty bad. That's when most of the stuff really hit. And so we stayed here Monday night without heat. Luckily, we have a gas fireplace, so we're close to it. And we literally pulled the love seat up about 2 feet away from the gas fireplace and sat there. We have a gas stove, so we were able to eat. But we didn't have any electricity. So Tuesday night was just absolutely horrible. Or, excuse me, Monday night. Monday night, it got down to 3 degrees. So Tuesday morning, it was 3 degrees Fahrenheit when we woke up with a negative wind chill. That never happens. We got 8 inches of snow the first day. Last night we got another probably 4 inches on top of it. Look at this swimming pool. It is absolutely frozen over solid. All of the pool equipment, I'm guessing, is probably busted. I'm not sure. We came out Monday when this first happened and basically took all the covers off the pumps, removed the drain plugs, opened up the heater and the filters. I don't know if we're going to be able to save it or not. I think there's probably major damage. The amazing thing out of this is finally yesterday, Tuesday afternoon, we just couldn't take another night here in the house with those kind of temperatures. So we vacated. Luckily, my daughter has a Jeep and 4-wheel drive
Wrangler, and we were able to make it over to their house in Royce City, which is about 20 miles away from here, where she had electricity. We were able to spend the night there. All day today we did not have electricity. Finally, at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, electricity came back on. Let me tell you how bad it is on our street. On our street, there is 4 houses that the hot water heaters busted in the garage. 4. There is 2 houses on our street that are 2-story, where the pipes have burst upstairs and have drained water throughout the house. This is just unprecedented. We just can't even handle it. So let me tell you another source of frustration, which I'll get to here in a little bit. So when the temperatures got to single digits, my diesel Chevy truck would not start. So I mean, I started looking for the you know, most diesels have a plug-in a block heater that you can plug into an electrical outlet to get the block warmed up so that they will start. Couldn't find it, kept researching it, and this really ticks me off because my dealer did not prep this truck correctly when I picked it up. I guess they figure here in Texas you never need this, but inside of this truck, somewhere by the battery, down by the block, cable tied to the frame is the cord to actually charge it. Well, you can't even get to it. You can't access it. So I got to come out here, get the snow off the top of the truck, find a way to get in there with some cable ties, cut it open. Then you have to route it all the way around the frame of the truck. You have to crawl under the truck, and then eventually you'll bring it out right here towards the front, put some cable ties, and you'll be able to plug in at the front of the truck. But so the truck has been pretty much dead in the water since this broke. So absolutely terrible. But you know what you do when you get lemons? You make lemonade. So power came back on. A man's got to eat. So I fired up the Traeger grill. We got a turkey breast going in there. Why not? I'm the only person probably in this area that's grilling out today. But hey, what the heck? Can't keep a good man down. Now for the bad news. The bad news is at the farm, unfortunately, we've lost 3 calves total now that were born right in the middle of this crap and just literally froze to death. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. It's disheartening. But when calves are born in the middle of the night in this kind of weather and you can't get them up, you can't even get to the farm to be there, it's just really a kick in the groin and really kind of sucks. But that's about all I want to say about that. You just try to focus on the future and try to get to it. Positive note, this is the last snow and ice we're supposed to have. And then hopefully by Friday afternoon, it's going to get above freezing, probably around 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon. So hopefully we can survive. Next week it's sunshine and 50 degrees or 60 degrees. So go figure. Worst storm that I've seen in my life as far as winter storms. We're just not equipped for it, but I feel for all these people that have broken pipes inside of their house, where they're literally taking shop vacs and vacuuming water out of their houses right now because all the pipes have frozen. This really shows that the Texas power grid cannot handle this kind of event, and it's just really unfortunate. So say a prayer for all the elderly people and the ones that are really struggling. We're kind of fortunate at the moment that our power came back on, and outside of the pool damage, I think we're relatively unscathed, but just really heartbroken about the 3 calves that we lost. There's just not much we could do. We tried to get one of them up, Dale did, and tried to keep it in the barn, but just didn't make it. It's really sad, man. It's just unbearable conditions for everything. All right, hey, glory be to God. Tomorrow's a new day. Can't keep us down. Hey guys, Scott with Heritage Farms, Texas. Well, I'm back on the generator carburetor rebuild. I got my kit in, and the story of my life, day late, dollar short. So here's all of the parts I needed from Generac to actually rebuild this carburetor. And once again, the carburetor is really not that old. I've had it soaking in gasoline. We've cleaned it out. So now I'm ready to go back and put it back together. But guess what, guys? Of course, you know, it's after the fact. You can see the blizzard has come through Texas. We were without power for basically 3 days, just miserable. And my generator was not running because I didn't have the parts, because I didn't get it built in time. So shame on me for adding a level of misery there. But now we're back to it. We're putting it together. I'm gonna update you from time to time. I'm not gonna bore you with every single step, but I'll give you some updates here as we move along. More to follow. Okay guys, so what we've done here is we put the, I'm not sure what you would call these. I'm gonna call them the jets. They are the little bitty things that we cleaned out. There's the tubes that go in there. I think those are the primary tubes, and then we put the jets back in. We got a new float that's installed, put a new pin across there, and we also installed our new sill here. So now we're getting ready to put this thing back together. So we're gonna put this on like so, and tighten it all up, and we're moving on here, so making a little bit of progress. More to follow. Okay, well, we got it back together, and I tell you what, it sure looks good. It's cleaned up nice. You know, I soaked it in gasoline for a couple of days while I was waiting on the parts to come in. You know, we cleaned it all up. I mean, everything seems to be functioning. We got new seals in it. We got a new float pin, new gaskets on the inside. We cleaned out the jets that had debris in one of them. And you know, guys, I don't know what else we can do on this. I would go out and actually put it on the generator, but you know, it's still like 20 something degrees here, 28, 29 degrees in Dallas. So now it's setting in, and I'm gonna wait till that shop warms up a little bit, but hopefully most of the damage is done. Sure wish I'd have done this about a month and a half ago, but oh well, live and learn. So anyway, I think it looks pretty good. It's my first time to rebuild a carb, but I tell you what, there's a lot of good channels out on YouTube that give some good pointers and stuff, and you can learn a lot. So anyway, that's what I did. When in doubt, go to YouTube. So we're gonna try to make this Generac run, and then I'd love to show you guys a video on how we wired the house so that this generator, in essence, will run the house, and I can choose what rooms and what outlets to turn on by utilizing our existing breaker panel. So we'll show you that in an upcoming video, but hopefully the next part of this will be us putting the carburetor back on and doing a test fire. More to follow. Okay guys, well, here it is. It's Tuesday afternoon. Woo, look at the smoke coming out. Work. Day is done. So I put these on at lunch today. Been cooking them really slow and smoky. Little pork loin. And what are we working on this Tuesday afternoon? Well, we are working on the carburetor, getting the carburetor back on the generator. So, you know, last video I rebuilt the carburetor. Now it's time to put it back on and get this show on the road. So, you know, story of my life, day late, dollar short. Well, here we are. So if those of y'all that don't remember, you know, I started trying to get this generator ready before the winter storm hit, realized I broke one of the little parts that went in it, needed to buy a carburetor rebuild kit, so I did that. Of course, the carburetor rebuild kit showed up like 2 days after the winter storm hit, so did me no good, but once again, day late, dollar short. But we're not gonna let this happen again. We're gonna get this thing running this afternoon, and we'll see what happens. So I'm not gonna bore you with me putting this back together. I'll show you a few little clips here and there, and let's see what happens. Thanks. Okay guys, you know when you're officially old is when you start misplacing stuff and you can't find the parts that you need. So this right here, you know, I'm getting ready to put the carb back on there, got the throttle linkage back on properly. This little bracket goes like this right here. And you see this little indentation right there? There is a spring that goes from here to here. And that's what keeps this tension on this, the governor, so that it can give and take. Well, the problem is I'm missing a little bitty spring, a 1-inch spring. I am normally very, very good. Like when I take the throttle linkage off, nuts, bolts, I lay them in a certain area where anything valuable I can put my hands on. I have cleaned up, been through here. I cannot find that spring. So here we are. We're ready to put this thing back together. Carburetor kit's installed, carburetor's cleaned, and I am down to a $2 little spring. Now keep in mind, my garage is an absolute mess. We've went through major winter storm. You know, my son-in-law was over here building a table for his house. When we had all of this stuff around, we got 2 pieces of fitness equipment, an elliptical and also a spin cycle. And this is all the packaging from that. There's leaves in here. I'm just a mess. My garage has not been organized. I've been too busy at the farm. And you know, shame, 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 shame on me. I just cannot believe I cannot find that little spring. So there you go, guys. Generac carburetor rebuild stalled because I can't find a little spring. It took me 2 weeks to get the carburetor rebuild kit. Imagine how long it's going to take to order a little carb spring. That's what I need, though. I need a spring that goes from right here to right there. And I can't believe when I unhooked it, I'm pretty sure I hooked it onto one end and then laid this right down there. But you know what? I'm blaming this guy. I think Kimber Cat came in here and stole it because Kimber is a little bit of a thief. She likes to pick stuff up, especially while I'm working on it. And she likes to take it out to the yard and wants me to chase her to come get it. She thinks it's a game. Happens a lot every morning when I go to put my socks on. She'll take one of my socks and run off, and there you go. So I have a feeling that my little carburetor spring is laying somewhere outside in the backyard. All right, mission stalled. Generac XG10000E. We're not going anywhere tonight. Okay, guys, look at there. There's Kimber. Hi, Kimber. Hi, Kimber. Kimber Cat. Kimber's here. All right, so we're working on the carburetor, and I just wanted to show you guys, I got all the linkage set up right here. You know, it's so complicated to make this all work. I mean, you got to take, I don't even know if I can get everything back together, but for the longest, I've been looking for that spring. Finally found it. I took a magnet and started going around all underneath the workbench. And sure enough, evidently it had fell off the workbench, landed on the ground, bounced up near those paint cans, and it was lodged in between the paint cans. The only way I found it was by sticking a magnet. I've got a magnet that's on the end of a 3-foot stick, and I was able to dig around, and lo and behold, it came out, but we got it back on. So that's the governor. That's how this thing actually works. You know, it goes back and forth, keeps everything running. So we're putting it back together. More to follow. Okay, guys, well, here we are. Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon. It's about 5:15. I'm back on the Generac project, post winter storm apocalypse. Day late, dollar short. So I cleaned the carb, took the carb completely apart, put a carburetor rebuild kit on it, and you know, been charging the battery today, so now we're kind of ready to see if this thing's gonna start. I have a little bit of a problem in the sense that my choke handle, which connected to this choke arm, actually broke. So I'm gonna have to order another one of those. But what I did in the meantime was, you know, you're supposed to have this panel right here is supposed to actually go across the front here, makes it look nice and pretty. The problem is when this panel is in place, you cannot get to the air filter. You cannot spray starter fluid or anything in there. So I'm gonna give it a shot. The starter fluid, which I'm almost out of. I'm gonna hold this in the choke position and we're gonna try to start it. Let's see what happens. Hey, that's the first sign of life I've seen from this. Let's see what happens. Oh, that was close. Close, close, close. Get a little shot of either. Put the choke back in the on position. Come on, baby. Ooh, getting closer. Well, guys, that's more life than it has shown. I mean, we definitely did not get to that point previously, so let's see what happens. Oh, man, we're so close. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Well, she's showing some life, but we're not quite there. That's definitely better than what it was doing prior to doing the carburetor rebuild. But man, I just can't get it to fire. So we got new fuel in it. I mean, I've blown out the fuel filter. I just really don't know what else we can do here. I think what I may do next is I've already done this once where I checked the spark plugs before. I mean, this thing has like literally 20 hours of use on it, if that. I mean, so this thing is brand new for all practical purposes. She should be firing. All right, let's try this one more time. Maybe we'll get lucky here, guys. I'm gonna have to go find some more starter fluid. And I'm definitely gonna have to fix this choke lever. Well, I don't know what to do. I don't want to run it too much and burn up the starter on here, so going to plan B. I don't know what plan B is, though. I mean, this thing has got 2 pistons. It's a V configuration. Come on, start. Oh, we're so close. Man, this thing has always been hard to start. Well, scratching my head and winding my watch. More to follow. Okay, guys, well, I pulled the 2 spark plugs out, and man, they really look like they're fouled. I mean, look how black they are. Not sure what's going on here, but they don't look very good at all. So I'm gonna go see if I can find a little wire brush, see if I can get these cleaned up a little bit, and we'll come back and we'll try again. But yeah, I don't like how black they look and all of this soot and everything that's all over them. So I'm gonna see if I can clean those guys up. They look terrible. All right, more to follow. Okay, so here we are. I cleaned up the spark plugs, put them back in. Man, they were really nasty looking. I'm kind of surprised. So let's see if that did the trick. Hey, that sounded pretty promising. Definitely better than what it was prior to this. So let's see what happens now. Oh, we're just so close. Mama said there'd be days like this. Let's just do a quick little check here. I just want to make sure that we have fuel coming to the carb, which it sure sounds like we do, but let's make sure. And I apologize, trying to do this here with one hand. Oh yeah, we've got fuel coming for sure. Hold on, I gotta set this down, guys. All right, I'm back. Well, we definitely have fuel. Get this thing turned back on here. Make sure we're fully in the home position. So we definitely have fuel. Oh, we're just so close. Why won't it start? All right, time to regroup again. She's showing some signs of life, but man, we just can't get her to fire over. Okay guys, well, I'm really scratching my head here on this Generac generator. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but 2.3 hours, that's how new that generator is. And shame on me, yes, I let it sit. I let it have bad gas in it, you know. So that part's me, but here's what I've done so far. So I drained all of the gas out of this generator. Once I did that, I took the carburetor off. We cleaned the carburetor, which was not bad, but there was like two jets in there. One of the jets was clogged a little bit. But really, this carburetor was not dirty. And at 2.3 hours, it shouldn't be dirty. But I bought a carb kit, got all the new seals, put everything back in there. Hold on. Hello, say hi, Kimber. Kimber's demanding attention. But anyway, so I put that in there. So I pulled out the spark plugs. They were definitely fouled, they looked bad. So I cleaned the spark plugs up, put them back in, held them against the frame, started the generator, and sure enough, you know what? I mean, they got spark, so both spark plugs have spark. The carburetor's clean. It's got all new gaskets, all new seals in the carburetor. I checked, basically bypassed the fuel filter just to make sure that fuel was flowing freely from the gas tank into the carburetor, which it is. I also blew out the air filter to make sure air was passing through it and it's not clean or stuck up or anything. I pulled the spark arrestor off of the tailpipe. It was clean, which at 2 hours, it should be clean. This thing is brand new. And you pretty much saw what it's doing. I mean, you know, when the choke's on, it'll start just for a second, but it will not continue to run. You can hear it, it starts to fire, and then nothing. I have looked at every piece of wire. I have reset the breakers. On the back of this, there's 2 breakers. I have checked both of those. I have looked every single connection for every single wire. Everything is connected. I'm just at a total loss, guys. Let me know if you have any thoughts. Am I missing anything? I mean, we got new, fresh fuel. The Spark plugs are clean, and when you take the spark plug out, leave the cap on and hold it up against the frame, it definitely shoots spark. So I have spark on both cylinders. It's starting. I have gas flowing all the way up to the carburetor. I am so frustrated. I mean, I'm no mechanic by no means, but I know enough about engines and how they work, and normally I can get a lawnmower started, a weed eater or whatever, but I am just pulling my hair out on this one, guys. It just will not run. My only other option at this point is to buy a whole new carb. I don't even know if I can buy the carburetor intact. I guess that'll be my next move, but what am I missing? What am I missing? Any other troubleshooting ideas? Hey, leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Would love to hear from you, but I just can't get her to run. And extremely, extremely frustrating. Thanks, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna show you an example of what this thing is doing, and I just can't get it to fire. So put the choke in the on position. And you can see it tries to start, but it will not fire. And when the choke is in the off position, it won't start at all. I have made sure that I've got gas flowing in here. It's all clean gas. The spark is where I'm just pulling my hair out. Let me know, guys. Leave me a comment, thoughts, anything. Love to hear from you. Thanks. So even though the generator is not working, I thought I would show you how it's designed to work to actually power our entire house. So we came in here and we put a plug on the outside. So this is where your generator would come and it would plug in, which is really nice because, gives you some options. It's outside of the garage, it's outside of the house. I can come in here, plug the generator directly into this outlet, and if I needed to, I could chain it to the fence so nobody would walk off with it. It's out here so the noise would not be overbearing. But walk with me. So, I thought I was prepared, but I just can't believe this thing will not start, and I've had so many issues with it. So, but this is how we set it up. Thank goodness my neighbor was an electrician, so he really helped me. So I'll put some notes up here. Number one, start here. So what this is a blockout or lockout switch. You can see right now we are on city power, which is great. Everything's awesome when it works. As you saw in my past videos, when it doesn't work, it really sucks. So what happens is when we get ready to use generator power, we plug the generator in on the back of the house. We flip this switch to the off position. This panel right here, which is called our breaker interlock, slides up, and when it does, it allows you to actually trip these two breakers over. So once these two breakers are turned over, then this whole entire breaker box is now running off of generator power, which is really cool because what I do is I come in here and I turn every single breaker off before we do this. So once we get the generator hooked up, we turn this main city electricity off, we slide this up, and then we turn this breaker on right here, which is the generator switch. Now at this point, I can come in here and I can pick and choose what rooms in the house that I want electricity, which would have been really nice because during the ice storm and the snowstorm, I could have had the pull equipment running, which would have probably saved me all of the damage that I incurred. Here's Kimber Cat. Hey, Kimber. But so this is how we have it set up. So it's really pretty cool. So I put some notes in here, and it says open both panels first, turn the 200 amp main breaker off, turn all breakers off, slide the breaker switch up, turn on breaker for generator, plug power cord into the generator on the south side of the house by the AC, start the generator, let it warm up one by one, turn on the red dots, let each one idle before the next, do not overload, reverse steps. So this way, what I put on here was some little red dots on things that were mission critical. So you want your freezer to run if power's out. We wanted the entranceway, the office plug so I can continue to work, pool equipment, the living room plugs. What did we have over here? Oh yeah, really important stuff like the refrigerator, the microwave, the heat. Heat's very important. And the kitchen countertop so that we can actually cook and everything else. So I put red dots by the things that I really thought was important and the things that we needed to run. But once again, you can actually flip these switches and run only what you want to run. You don't have to run anything. We could shut everything off. Just really depends on what you want to go with. So that's how the system works. If only my generator would run. All of that is useless if this guy right here, this 10,000 running watt, 12,500 starting watt generator would only run. 2 hours on it. And I'm gonna take the blame for it because I'm the one who let it sit idle for basically a year with bad gas, but come on, what's the problem? Hey guys, somebody's gotta help me out. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks. Hey, one last thing before I shut it down. We'll give it one more try. Fingers crossed, is this the time? Well, that's what you call a poo-poo sandwich down here in the South. But hey, you know what? Glory be to God for all the blessings that I have in my life. Here we are, we're after the storm. And you know what? The good news is I have a generator. We'll figure this out. I mean, it's not the end of the world. There's a lot of people smarter than me. It's just a piece of equipment, some metal, some plastic. I'm confident we'll get it running at some point. I'm just gonna have to probably call in some reinforcements. But hey, glory be to God. Thank you for all the blessings that we have in our life. Thank you for all of the comments and the support we had over the recent winter storms. We will get this running. But you know, I thought I was prepared, but I wasn't. So the moral of the story is, guys, you gotta take ownership and stuff, and you gotta take care of your equipment, and shame on me. This one is on me. It's my fault. Hey, we'll talk to you soon. More to follow. Okay guys, hey, Scott with Heritage Farms. I'm back at it. I cannot get that generator to start. You know, I've done virtually everything in the world, and then I'm sitting there and it dawned on me, I don't know if you call this the fuel, I don't know what's the name of it. Anyway, long story short, it'll come to me, fuel sender or whatever you want to call it. But what I did here was I connected a jumper cable. I put green on negative, which is the white, and I ran it over here to the battery. And here I attached the positive over to the green side. And in theory, when I touch the positive side over here, that thing should go in. And actually, it did not. All right, more to follow. Mission accomplished. We did it. After sitting for probably what was more like 2 years, it appears we got the Generac XG10000E up and running. Day late, dollar short, story of my life. You know how that goes. But yeah, if we'd had this thing running before the winter blast, we could have saved some stuff. But hey, lesson learned. So now every Sunday, I'm just gonna make it a point to crank this thing up and let it run for 5 minutes and then shut it back down so that we keep it operational. But it turns out, I think there's a couple of things. Number one, definitely needed to rebuild the carburetor. One of the 2 jets was clogged up in there, so we definitely fixed that, put all new gaskets in. We were able to get the carburetor cleaned up. One guy on the internet said it was the start-stop selenoid, so $20 later, threw a new start, stop, solenoid edit, and that did not fix the problem. And then finally, I did not know about fuel solenoids, but I finally figured out that they've got to work freely and they have to be able to move. And when you put 12-volt power to each side of it, this little thing should actually extend outwards. The one that I had in there was not working. It had been corroded because of the bad gas. And so once I got a new solenoid in there, and once I understood how to check the solenoid for future reference, we ordered one, and 20 bucks later, hey, it's up and running. So, you know, long story short, probably looking at, I don't know, $50, $60 worth of parts that I threw at it, but I got it running without having a major repair bill. So there you go. So that's the update. Hey, hope you guys liked the video. Thumbs up. If anybody has any questions, leave us a comment. Tell us what you think about it. Would love to hear from you, and we're back in business.
Okay, got it 100% back together. The thing that I like is how smooth it's running. There's no surging up or down. Just got a good solid idle speed to it. One thing I don't like is it is extremely loud. So note to self, you have to run these things. You cannot let them sit idle, and you cannot let the gas go bad in them. So what happened? The gas went bad, had to clean the carburetor, had one jet that was clogged, and then also it caused the fuel solenoid to actually get contaminated as well. So once we got those cleaned up, got it back together, she's running like a top. All right, guys, glory be to God.
Okay guys, hey, I want to tell you a little bit of a problem that I ran into. Nothing really major, but so got the generator running, and actually went to plug something in, a drill, just to see if it would work, and I had no power. No power. So imagine the roller coaster emotional ride that I've been on here. Finally get this thing running, and then you find out you have no power. Well, started to do a little research on this, and what I found out was that sometimes when a generator has been sitting for a long period of time, that it will lose a little bit of stored power. They actually have a small amount of power stored in them, and the coils and everything, and if it loses that, then it won't start. So what I did a lot of YouTube research and everything, and I remember from the very first day I bought this generator, when I got the generator off the truck, it would not produce power. And I remember getting online and actually ended up calling Generac, talking to one of their technicians, and he walked me through this little exercise, and I actually forgot about it. And looked at a couple of YouTube videos, and then it came back to me, and sure enough, I was able to get it to run. So what is it? It's called flashing the generator. And the way that you do it is you actually take, you start the generator, and you plug a corded drill into the generator. Doesn't matter the make, the model, anything, just a corded drill. You pull the trigger with one hand, and then you rotate the chuck in the opposite direction that you would if you were drilling a drill or a hole. So in this case, you're going counterclockwise, not clockwise. And you sit there and you do that over and over and over again. And then at some point, that thing's gonna take off. So make sure you're wearing gloves. Make sure that you don't have a drill bit in here. And sure enough, that was the case. So my generator, once I got it running, was not making power. I was about to stroke out. But hey, luckily, by flashing the generator, I was able to get it started again. It actually makes power. So I am 100% back in business. Glory be to God. Yep, we had a bad couple of weeks with the ice, with the snow and winter weather and sub-zero freezing weather. But hey, a couple of weeks later, things are looking better. Generator's running. I will not be unprepared for the next winter storm or power outage when that day comes. Hey, thank you guys.